For better or for worse, they say. Some couples tend to value these words and hold these words accountable with or without a ring. But how can you know what worse will bring? Have you ever wondered how it must feel for a pure and innocent heart to carry the weight of stones incidentally? Some of you may wonder what I mean when I deploy this question. The question itself means exactly what is being asked with some metaphorical meaning. A pure and innocent heart being that of a young child who is eager to see what the world has to offer, both good and bad, beyond the comfort of their home. The stones are meant to resemble the mental drainage and sentiment within one. Evidently, couples find themselves in the predicament that the love they once felt has faded, priorities have changed, and distance has elongated. Consequently, the environment is no longer healthy and easygoing. Sometimes, in the midst of these situations, is an innocent, pure-hearted child, worthy of being loved correctly, that needs both mother and father. The child needing both parents does not mean that two unhappy parents should stay together for their child if the environment doesn't permit it. Two separate, happy and striving parents that love their child triumphs anything. When they're in the mental state to provide genuine love to their child without the stress of being unhappy, trying to make an old key open a new lock, things can flow better. An innocent child seeing their parents argue and fight because they're unhappy and trying to stay together for the sake of a family is ill-considered. Now I have to ask, what do you guys think is considered a family, or what qualities does a family have? The mental factors that will accidentally plummet onto the child is one that cannot be altered. The child deserves to be happy without feeling as if they are to blame for the unhappiness that accompanies them. I feel as though both parents should set an example of what their child should do in life and how they should act towards others. The presence of an unhappy parent is substantially more than the absentee of a parent completely. Studies show that 7 out of 10 children whose parents stay together for them tend to get the wrong idea about having a spouse or partner. And it doesn't just stop there. Sometimes it stems into their friendships and business friendships. They tend to think they should sacrifice their happiness for others, communicate less, and often have trouble appropriately conveying the way they feel to the ones they hold dear. These factors can be avoided if parents take the time to think what is best for their child's sake. What they are teaching them by making the inconsiderate decision to stay together just because they feel two unhappy parents under one roof is better than two separate happy parents equally loving their creation. So what? You grew up in a one-parent home, but you didn't want that for your child. Understandable. But what you fail to realize is that the same feeling you felt with one absent parent is nothing compared to the absentee of two, which is all the same, of two unhappy parents being together for the sake of their child. Timothy 2-22 says, "So flee youthful passions and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart." When you are unhappy, your mental state is rocky, misleading, and sometimes angry. When you are in that state, it becomes hard to set a positive example for yourself, for your child, because you are role-playing something that you cannot even maintain, which defeats the purpose. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. Break those generational curses and bring your children or children up in a healthy environment, whether it be a two-parent home or two parents in two separate households. The idea is to not alienate your child's emotions and happiness because you can't seem to get things right as a parent or a family. The standards you hold your child to and the examples you set forth should bring happiness and greatness to them. Show them how to communicate their love language, how to love people from a distance, how to maintain their happiness while ensuring others. And simple problem-solving skills are some of the few. The minor principles make all the difference in a lifetime that rests in a world of sadness and disappointment. Install it in your children by teaching them through your doing, so when they come across the trials and tribulations in this demented world, they have the tools of handling them mentally and physically, whether they choose to or not. They still have the tools to do so. I would like you to pause the video here. I would like to hear some of your insights or views. Do you think parents should stay together even though they're not happy and they have a child? Do you think that the child's mental state or emotion doesn't matter, or the child doesn't have a say-so in that matter? Do we have the same views or values? Do you think the toxicity between couples can affect their children? Do you think children have emotional values? Some of those views, I would like to hear some of your views. Once you're done, you can continue the video so I can conclude my speech. In conclusion, children are worthy of happiness and appreciation. They should not be overlooked in any family matter because they have feelings too and are deeply affected by emotional distress their parents encounter. If you, as a parent, cannot happily work together and actually want to, don't bring that spirit to the doorstep or the house where your child resides. Consider your child and your child's feelings and do what's best for your child in a way they can understand, and their ability to inflict love in the right way onto others is clear. You or your child's happiness shouldn't be spared for someone else's, and children need to know that. Moral lessons in the reaction to the main action is vital when it comes to a healthy mental and spirit. No child or anyone should be stripped of that.